Hello there, friend. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your favorite drink, find a cozy spot, and settle in, because today's story is one you won't want to miss. We're diving deep into a tale brimming with betrayal and heartbreak, where trust is shattered and emotions run high. Get ready for a twist that will leave you gasping, because when everything seems perfect, the unexpected can turn your world upside down. So let's buckle up and embark on this roller coaster journey together. I met Sarah in college while studying computer engineering. She was doing sociology, and we hit it off at a gathering one night. I'd just come back from my grandmother's funeral. She'd left me her house, a modest, charming place full of memories. That night, Sarah noticed I was down and tried cheering me up. Her warmth worked, and we quickly grew close. Soon, Sarah moved into my tiny apartment, and as our relationship deepened, I imagined a future with her. When I landed a job back in my hometown, she eventually found a position there too. It felt like fate had aligned our paths. 3 years later, Sarah and I were engaged, with a wedding set for spring. Life seemed perfect. I had to travel often for work, and on one such trip, I decided to surprise Sarah by returning early to celebrate her birthday. I picked up a bouquet, excited to see her reaction. Arriving home, I found the place empty and her car gone. Puzzled, I checked a tracking app we'd occasionally use for convenience, which showed her at a nearby restaurant. I figured she was grabbing a bite and decided to join her. When I entered the restaurant, I spotted Sarah immediately, but something was wrong. She was wrapped around a man, locked in a deep, familiar kiss. My stomach dropped, and a wave of nausea washed over me as I stood frozen in shock. It felt as if the ground had been pulled from beneath my feet. My heart raced and every breath felt labored. I fumbled for my phone, capturing the moment that shattered everything I thought I knew about our relationship. I never imagined I'd witness her like this, completely lost in another's embrace. The betrayal stung deeper than any wound, and I turned away, feeling the weight of my anger and sadness. As I walked away, the reality of the situation sunk in. I sent her the photo with a simple yet devastating message. "I'll get my things. You can move him in." It was a swift declaration of the end, a bitter acknowledgement that the life we built together was now crumbling. The fury bubbling within me propelled me home, where I began packing my belongings. Each item I put in a box felt like another piece of my heart breaking. The anger surged, mingling with a profound sense of loss that I couldn't shake. By the time I finished packing, my hands trembled and tears threatened to spill. I felt hollow, like an empty shell, haunted by memories of happier times that now felt tainted. I took one last look around our home, a space once filled with laughter and love, now a haunting reminder of betrayal. As I closed the door behind me, I felt the weight of finality. It was over, but the pain was just beginning. I knew I would have to face the aftermath, rebuild my life, and learn to trust again, if I ever could. About 10 minutes later, Sarah rushed in, tears in her eyes with the man behind her. "It's not what it looks like," she pleaded, claiming it was just a kiss. She begged for forgiveness, explaining he was a friend she'd tried to comfort after he'd injured his hand. I stared, barely able to listen, fury and disbelief pulsing through me. I demanded her phone, hoping for any proof to explain this betrayal. She handed it over reluctantly, and though I found nothing suspicious in the messages, it didn't erase what I'd witnessed. She'd crossed a line, and there was no going back. As I packed, the man tried to apologize, stammering about how Sarah had been just comforting him and helping with his recovery. His words did little to ease my resentment. Before leaving, I pocketed the engagement ring and decided to keep it for a while to think things over. Once outside, I listened through my phone, realizing I'd left hers recording. I overheard her telling him she regretted everything and feared losing me. But his response was the final nail in the coffin. He confessed that if she'd offered more, he would have taken it. She snapped at him, saying she'd made a mistake and never wanted to see him again. That night, I took a long drive, trying to process it all. The love I'd once felt for Sarah had been eclipsed by a betrayal so deep I couldn't forgive. The next morning, I mailed the ring back to her with a simple note: "You made your choice. Goodbye." This narrative explores a complex emotional journey marked by infidelity, heartbreak, and the possibility of reconciliation. The protagonist grapples with the betrayal of his fiancée, Sarah, after discovering her involvement with another man. His internal struggle is palpable as he reflects on his love for her, the implications of her actions, and the uncertainty of their future together. After a tense conversation with Sarah and her parents, the protagonist faces a critical decision: whether to forgive Sarah and move forward with their wedding. The emotional weight of her actions, specifically the revelation of a kiss in a more intimate encounter, fuels his doubts about trust and fidelity. He seeks advice from his parents, who provide support, but ultimately leave the decision to him. This moment encapsulates the tension between love and betrayal, with the protagonist oscillating between wanting to forgive and feeling deeply hurt. The story intensifies as Sarah attempts to atone for her mistake, demonstrating her commitment through dramatic gestures, such as cleansing herself symbolically with bleach. This act underscores the desperate lengths she is willing to go to regain his trust, but it also highlights the profound impact of her betrayal. As they navigate their relationship's complexities, the protagonist remains cautious, contemplating the idea of rebuilding their life together while grappling with lingering doubts and fears. The tension in the air was palpable as Pui faced Sarah, his voice low but firm. "I trusted you once, and I forgave you. That won't happen a second time." She spent the weekend trying to mend their relationship, but Pui's suspicions loomed like a dark cloud. He kept a close watch on her phone, finding nothing to arouse his doubts, until he discovered her affair with Joseph. Digging deeper, he learned about his company's strict non-fraternization policy, which extended to anyone who knew about such relationships. It became clear that if they were involved, they'd need to be more careful. When Sarah mentioned a work trip to Telford with a colleague, Kelly, Pui's instincts screamed betrayal. A chance encounter with Joseph's wife, Heather, confirmed his fears. Both Joseph and Sarah would be in Telford simultaneously. "Don't forget to hit that like button, and trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end for the twist that changes everything." Determined to catch them in the act, Pui devised a plan. He dressed incognito and staked out the hotel where the course attendees were staying. After observing Sarah and Joseph at dinner, he noted their conspicuous distance, only fueling his doubts. The night unfolded like a scripted drama. Joseph left for his room, followed by Sarah 20 minutes later. As he crept down the corridor, anticipation mixed with dread. Pui waited outside their room, intent on catching them red-handed. He knocked, delivering an envelope filled with damning evidence, a photoshopped image of Sarah with another man. The moment Joseph opened the door, the confrontation erupted. Pui's fury exploded as he punched Joseph, blood splattering in the heat of the moment. Facing Sarah, he delivered the final blow, handing her the divorce petition. "Don't bother coming home. I've changed the locks." Pui's heart raced as he exited, leaving their shattered marriage behind, determined to start anew. Driving down the M5, Pui's thoughts drifted between the chaos of his recent discovery and the weight of the past few days. He wanted to drop Sarah's clothes off at her parents' house, but with her father still recovering from a heart attack, it felt wrong. Instead, he left the clothes outside her office, a final statement for her colleagues to ponder. Arriving home, he prepared for Sarah's return, ensuring she wouldn't be able to enter. After a restless few hours of sleep, he was jolted awake by loud banging on the front door. Sarah was there, pleading for forgiveness. Her excuses fell flat as he realized the depths of her betrayal. Pui wasn't interested in explanations. The planning, the deceit, and the betrayal cut too deep. He could only think of ending their marriage swiftly, and when Sarah asked to retrieve some clothes, he coldly reminded her they were at her office. As the divorce proceedings unfolded, Pui meticulously documented every detail, sharing evidence with his solicitor. Sarah's affair and the fallout echoed throughout the office, leading to sacking and reprimands among her colleagues. Meanwhile, Joseph's attempt to salvage his marriage crumbled under the weight of truth. Pui found himself a witness in the courtroom, reliving the betrayal. After the verdict, Sarah approached him with a mix of regret and desperation, hoping for a second chance. She promised to change, claiming she did it all for their future. But Pui saw through her tears and empty apologies. His anger resurfaced as he recalled the lies, the manipulation, and the collateral damage her actions caused to others. Walking away from their meeting, he felt a weight lift off his shoulders. Months later, an unexpected encounter with Sarah's parents in a supermarket brought back memories, but he felt no desire to reconnect. They shared news of Sarah's new job and a miscarriage, and her mother expressed that Sarah still loved him. Pui stifled a scoff. Love hadn't stopped her from betraying him. Unbothered by the past, he focused on moving forward, cherishing the freedom he regained and vowing to live his best life. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more captivating content. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.